the other colleges. Slide provides a very, very important information because we are now changing. from one system to the other system, started giving autonomy, and more universities are being set up by the government, by the private uh, partners, and states have started giving permission. So I have just prepared a list for you uh, to also myself also to look into as to what is happening in the country. And I found that I prepared the list and put it in a particular order. If you look at this number of universities, private universities and deemed universities, which are by and large owned by private, accepting some examples like IISc, which is a deemed university, but mostly they are private. So private universities and deemed universities put together 53, which is a total, which is the largest in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan has largest number of private universities of these two types. This indicates a lot of enthusiasm in Rajasthan in starting private universities. Adjoining is another very interesting state, and that is Gujarat, which is second in the country, having second largest number of universities, private participation. Third, and also third adjoining state is Madhya Pradesh. So it indicates that Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, which is class of states in many sense and geographically connected, they have found to start larger number of universities. I think there are some examples. Sorry, the order is private universities. So here largest number. So this may have differ because deemed universities numbers are varying, but private universities are large in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, very large numbers. You can see this. Least number. Tamil Nadu is one exception where you may have zero private universities, but many of the deemed universities. This needs to be confirmed because in my opinion, there could be private universities. Some of them could be deemed universities. I need to find out if all of them have been given the status of deemed universities. But this is what I found from the UGC's website. So, but the fact is that large interest of the states in starting private universities, and many states are coming up in opening the private university. Now, when the number of institutions are increasing, their quality becomes a challenge, and how to maintain a quality is a bigger challenge today before the government, and therefore there is a body called as NBA, there is another body called as NAC, there is also another process that is called as NRIF. All look at the quality, and we are going to talk about all the three systems that we have in place. A quick glance at the growth of engineering education. This is with focus on engineering, technical education in general, not only engineering. Technical includes engineering, pharmacy, architecture, education also. You will be surprised that this number of institutions grew very, very rapidly, particularly since 1990, 1983 in particular, when the privatization happened, private players came in, and large number of degree colleges, diploma colleges opened, and large number of enrollment also took place in degree and diploma. Now, all these institutions are accredited by NBA, whether it's an autonomous institution, the university department, or the universities themselves, they are all accredited. Whether it's a public or the public funded or private or autonomous or deemed university or constituent college of the university, they all go to NBA for getting accreditation, or they go to NAC. NAC is more focused on higher education. NBA focuses on technical education. There is another box behind which there is another one class of institution. And they are not all of them are going to NBA for accreditation. That's another challenge we have. National Institutes of National Importance, which are IITs, NITs, ICES, IIITs. I think ICERs and IITs do not go for accreditation. However, there are many examples of NITs going to NBA for accreditation. IITs, I don't have a very concrete information on, but they also must be going in for accreditation. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning here explicitly as to why IITs do not go, NITs go, they are all funded by MHRD. This whole class is funded by MHRD, central government, uh, accepting some of the IITs. But not every institution go for accreditation. That also has created some issue at international level, which I will be coming uh, to you for presentation a little later. One very important thing that you will be very proud of our country, when we look at the number of students taking engineering education, engineering graduates per year. And we have the data of various various countries like Russian, United States, Iran, Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Ukraine, Mexico, France, Vietnam. Where is India? No, India is here. India is somewhere here, this side. And we have 1 million, that is 10 lakhs Indian students taking engineering degrees every year. China is number 1 in the world. And with now this COVID, probably China's number will decline and India's number may go up. And that's very much there, a situation in 1 year, 2 years, the picture will be clearer. And India could be the leader in technical education. And therefore, and because you all know that we have set up the infrastructure, colleges are very nicely constructed, laboratories are developed, and some colleges are facing the issue of admission. So all those colleges may get admission if we cross this COVID, and if we could attract good students from abroad. Another very important thing on the backdrop of what I said that I would like to present is this. While India's education system is growing for last all these years, what is also growing is the Indian students seeking education abroad. And India sends to other countries, developed countries, again, the second largest number of students as compared to China. China is number 1. India is the second largest, number providing country. In USA alone, we send about 1.7 lakh students every year. And there are some students going to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK. And therefore, around 2.6, 2.7 lakh students are going every year. Now, when 2.6 lakh students are going every year, and some go for 2 years degree, some go for 3 years degree, some goes for 4 years degree, and they reside outside. So how many students are outside taking education at a given point of time? If you look at, it will be around 7.5 lakh Indian students who are abroad studying at any given point of time. Today, if you try to know how many students are outside India taking university education, the number will be around 7,50,000. And there is a news with regards to this. You can just look at this news. I will try to open it for you. More than 7,50,000 students, 7,50,000 Indian students abroad in 2018, and this number must have increased by another 50,000. So around 8 lakh students are studying abroad currently, as of now. And yesterday I was when I was preparing for this lecture, I just calculated as to how much is the money that the students are paying outside to the university. And I was very surprised, shocked to see that the number of the amount that we are spending every year is very, very large. So let us just calculate in Excel what is this number, what is this amount. 7,50,000 students are studying at any given point of time, and average cost of education, the education cost goes as high as 40 lakhs per year, as low as 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs per year. Even if we take 15 lakhs per student per year, this number will be, the amount will be very high. And it comes to 1,12,000 crore. 1,10,000 crore. 1,10,000 crore. 1,10,000 crore. Now, this money is a big money. MHRD's annual budget itself is around, I think, 55,000 crores. And the money that we are spending outside India is 1,10,000 crores. Although it is people's money, but the money is going outside the country. And when we have an education system in the country, maybe there is some issue with the quality of it. We can always improve. The reason why I'm telling all this is we are very large. We are having different types of institutions. We are very good in terms of the infrastructure. And at the same time, there are people having money and large number of students are going outside. Money is being drained outside. And therefore, we need to look at the quality. It is very, very important. The whole reason why I spend so much of time on this is to understand our own education system, the quality and the size of the education system that we have, and the money that we are spending outside, and the need for correcting it at home. If we correct it at home, then we will probably be able to save at least some part of this money. Now, when we go there, or when we take engineering education here, what do we study? I would like to address this question to you. We study very difficult and complicated engineering subjects, whether it is mechanical, electrical, computer, complicated in the sense they are very advanced. I am a student and teacher of IC engines, and my area of research is IC engine modeling, in which we have mechanism of the knowledge of the mathematical models and softwares of calculating the temperature, chemical species in the cylinder at every millisecond. Engine runs very fast, and at every millisecond I can predict what is the temperature. Now, this technology of mine that I have, the information knowledge that we have, and my students have, and so many of you have, this is mostly useful to the global companies, the multinational companies who make the product, sell it across the country. They earn the profit, although generate employment, and some of the Indians also get the employment. But this technology is by and large used by them, and very less of part of it is used within India. But India has other problems. The reason why I would like to put it, the information is on the other next slide. And if we look at some problems of India, our problems are not prediction of the temperature in IC engine at every millisecond. We have basic problems. We have basic problem of healthcare, sanitization. Our drainage system is not proper. People do not have toilets. We don't have education to almost 40% of the country. We don't have good water for drinking. These are our primary problems. Healthcare, sanitation is our problem. And we are hardly, hardly putting in efforts on this. Also, our problems are, some of the problems are also safety and women's safety in particular. Pollution is our problem. Electricity, basic need, electricity and the transportation required. These are our problems. Now, who will help us in solving this problem is the question that keep coming to my mind. Very, very often I think about it. We are a unique country. We are a big country. We are a populated country. We are a very rich country. We are the country of poor. Extreme richness is seen in India. Extreme poverty is also seen in India. And we are probably the unique country where we have so much of extremities and so much of diversity, we call it as. So unique are the problems of the country. Who is going to solve? My question to you is, and you can send answers on this text. Is Spain going to help us in solving these problems? Or is Finland is going to help us, or Australia or America is going to solve this problem? Who is going to solve? Is there any country having this situation and having the knowledge of the problems that we are facing? I think we are a unique country and we know the problem, we are living with it, and we have possibility of solving the potential of solving the problems of our country by ourselves, and our students can solve it, and we have proven. I am going to tell you in a short while from now as to how successfully we did it and how can we expand it. And therefore we are a country with unique problems. We are a country with unique population and unique talent and unique infrastructure, unique education system, the largest one that we have, and we can solve these problems and ourselves, and no one can come and help us. Okay. And therefore, from my point of view, although we are talking of accreditation and education and technical education and its quality, this slide, although is not related to education, but I think this should be the center of our thinking, and then we should start learning in the university. So, for quality assurance, as I told you, we have expanded our education system so much so that in every district you have many engineering colleges now, large number of engineering colleges and other colleges also, and number of universities. And now we have empty seats also. So we have capacity, but quality is in some institutions a serious issue, and therefore quality assurance is necessary in higher education. And therefore primarily we have set up two accreditation bodies which will take care of the education in the country. Now there is NAC, you are familiar with, and in NAC takes care of technical education institutions and their accreditation, and also they do it for non-technical. Rather, I would say their focus is non-technical, but technical institutions also go to them and get the accreditation of their institute. There is another body which is NBA, which is primarily a program accreditation body. Program means in engineering college, you have mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics as programs, and NBA comes and accreditates the program. Although people and institutions, some institutions misuse it, they call it as the college accredited by NBA. Now, college is never accredited by NBA. It is the program, specific program, that too for a specific interval of years accredited. So it is either accredited for 3 years or 6 years. 6 years is called as full accreditation, provisional accreditation for 3 years. They are all the terminology you are aware of. It was later in 2010 made the independent autonomous body. So 2010 they became autonomous and became completely independent of AICTE in 2013. Maybe between 2010 to 13 they were sitting in AICTE office, but now became independent, completely independent, and started accreditation based on outcome in 2013, and later, within a year, we signed Washington Accord. Okay. Now, Washington Accord is something very, very important. Washington Accord is the accord that was signed to understand, to have the uniformity at the world level. And I Accord little later. Current status, we have 3,500 diploma colleges, 3,500 degree colleges, 7,000 institutions offering technical education, engineering education alone, plus plus MBA, plus architecture, plus pharmacy. How many of them are accredited? Accreditation by NBA is done by only 16% of the institutions. It means 84%, which is a very large chunk of institutions, are not accredited. And this is an alarming situation. And therefore, we may be offering a quality education, but we don't have the stamp. It's very important. And when we don't have the stamp, nobody recognizes, even if you are offering the quality. And I'm sure those who are offering quality, they will not hesitate in going through the accreditation process. So there is little doubt in even my mind and everybody's mind, particularly when you don't have the accreditation got done for your institution. And therefore, we need to focus on this. NBA is a quality mark. There is an international recognition. Of course, nationally it is recognized. Parents know it. Placement agencies, the employers will come to you for placement if you are accredited institution. And student mobility from one institute to the other institute, from one university to the other university, or from undergraduate, after passing undergraduate program for going to the PG or PhD, students get advantage of the background of the institution, the reputation of the institution they did their graduation from, and therefore they feel pride when they go to the other places, either for their placement or for the higher education, and therefore it is very necessary. Also, NBA is useful for funding, getting funding from the government and other agencies. And when we fund, which I have been doing in AICTE for almost 3.5 years, and now I am heading the other bureau, but the funding is, for funding NBA is one of the very important criteria. Now, let us look at what are the imperatives of the accreditation. As I told you, funding decisions are primarily dominated by this quality mark. It is like ISI mark, ISI products, non-ISI products, ISI fridge and non-ISI, ISI air conditioner, non-ISI. Price variation is also too high. The ISI mark can be sold at a high cost. Non-ISI has to be less than 50% cost. And that this NBA is like ISI of the product. This is for educational institutions. Accountability of the institution, then encouragement, improvement initiative. Now you do something, you improve the quality, you get the quality mark. Indirectly, teachers, principals, director also gets encouraged because it is the success of their efforts, and the institution gets accredited. But in fact, I would say the teachers and students both also get kind of a accreditation or kind of a quality mark attached to them. Like I will proudly say that I am a student of so and so institution, or the faculty of COEP, faculty working professor of College of Engineering Pune, So kind of a quality mark gets attached to the personality also. So this quality assurance of educational programs is very, very necessary. A little more background of approval, accreditation and approval. Now some says approval, some says accreditation, some says recognition, some says something. We have a process for last all these years, process of approvals, and AICTE is mainly responsible through an act of parliament, and we take the application of the institution online every year. Every year we give the approval, and next year, subsequent year, we give the extension of approval every year, and we approve the intake. That's our duty. UGC also does the same thing for universities, and we then AICTE and UGC both put the list of the institutions on our portal. You can see the universities list on UGC, engineering college or technical institutions list on AICTE website, and this list can be referred by all the stakeholders. And if any college which is not available on our website or UGC university's name on the UGC website, it means that institute is not approved. It is unapproved, and at times the terminology of fake university or the fake college or fake institution can also be used. Okay. Now, AICTE and UGC accord approval for maintaining norms. Approvals are granted only after due diligence. So we inspect the college facilities, faculty, and their norms and standards. And every year we do that, and then approvals are granted. Okay. The list of AICTE approved institutions and the list of universities are available on their respective websites, as I told you. Now, India is committed to maintaining a high quality of engineering education. Yes, we are committed. Now, question comes, accreditation from NBA is mandatory or voluntary? Approval, I would answer to this question is, approval is mandatory, and NBA's accreditation is voluntary. And that is the reason why only 16% of the institutions have gone for it, and 84% have not gone for this accreditation. AICTE's role, AICTE has now, because it is not mandatory, AICTE has slowly started making it mandatory. Mandatory because funding primarily goes to the accredited institutions, and also because many of the institutions are not maintaining the quality. AICTE has given such institutions a 4 years of time and asked all the institutions to compulsorily go for accreditation. Any institution who is not able to get the accreditation in next 4 years will face difficulty in getting the extension of approval. If I directly say that if the institutions, despite giving 4 years of notice and a lot of support that AICTE is going to give and started giving, if the institutions still do not get accredited, there are chances and good chances that these institutions will be closed. Okay, but there is 4 years of time. 1 year has gone. There are 3 more years, and funding, of course, funding will be primarily, linked to accreditation, linked to quality. Okay. Now, these are some of the questions raised here. The UGC recognition is enough or not enough? Yes, universities, deemed university, autonomous colleges go to UGC, and colleges, deemed university, PGDM institute, they do come to AICTE for approval. All university colleges go to NAC. This is what I think I told you. IITs, NITs, universities, they also go for ranking, because there is another third body which ranks the institutions, and we are going to talk about that also. There are some universities like Rajasthan Technical Universities, which I would like to share with you this information. They have started ranking of the university level, at the university level also, of the colleges which are coming under that university. So that creates a competitive environment amongst the group of colleges affiliated to that university. And therefore, this move of Rajasthan Technical University is what I like, and I thought I should share with you. Internationally, if you look at their rankings, multiple ranking agencies like Times Higher Education ranking, there is also the QS ranking, Shanghai ranking, and there are many accreditation bodies internationally also. So, international, what is happening is at the international level, like ranking and accreditation, the same thing is also happening in our country. Now, AICTS in last few years under the leadership of current chairman, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, and other competent authorities like Professor Punia and Professor Mittal and Professor Rajiv now as member secretary, we have started many initiatives which are, which have made AICTE as a true facilitator than the regulator. And I will spend some time on also telling you on where AICTE can help the institution, where AICTE can help the teachers, and where we can help you in carrying out the research. All this also can be discussed for some time. Now let us look at why there is a need for outcome-based education. Now these slides tells you why Washington Accord for India. There is a need for, is there a need for global standardization? Global standardization. Because now we are a country with huge population and huge technical institutions we are producing a largest number of engineers. These engineers, when they go abroad, their degrees are looked at, whether the university is approved, where the programs are accredited, where the college is accredited. And therefore, if the college is accredited, next question will come definitely to, what is the process? What is the credibility of the accrediting agency? Now, is this accrediting agency itself recognized by some international body? Question comes. No, that's an obvious question. And therefore, we, that is India, signed Washington Accord in 2014. And these things are now taken care of, because there is a need for global engineers, not Indian engineers. They have to be called as global engineers. The engineers that you produce, I produce, they should be useful for USA, they should be useful for Australia, they should also be useful for India. So there is a need for global engineers, so there was a consensus required, and that consensus happened in Washington Accord. Accreditation procedure, there has to be a global agreement on what should be the procedure for accreditation, and therefore what procedure that we adopt is all agreed by at international platform. The processes that we have, what are the processes? Learning outcomes and graduate attributes that we have, there is concurrence, convergence amongst all the countries which are the signatories of Washington Accord. And this is the reason that the procedures, the parameters that we look at, they are all agreed by all the international bodies. Now, Washington Accord, if we are part of it, who are the other countries who are also signatories of the Washington Accord? I have on left column the member state, the countries that we are the part of the Washington Accord, and on the right there is a year of their signing the Washington Accord. So when Washington Accord first time was signed, these countries came together. Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, United Kingdom, United States, they all came together. They understood, they realized this, all this, that there is a need for this, there is a need for this, there is a need for standard procedure. And they all had agreed actually in 1989, almost when I was graduated, about 30 years before, 1988, I graduated from Government Engineering College, Amravati. So in 1988, I passed out. 1989, they agreed almost, okay. Then subsequently, some more countries joined. These are Hong Kong, South Africa. They also came in around 1995, 1999. Then everybody felt the need for the global recognition for their education, and many of the other countries started offering the international education, and the need then therefore felt by these countries who offer international education or education for international students, they felt the severe need for joining this Washington Accord, and the countries joined later in the third phase are Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and Malaysia. And around 2005, 2009, and currently we're now 2020. So about 10, 15 years before they joined. We joined in 2014. So around 2011 and 14, in these 3-4 years, Turkey, Russia, India, and Sri Lanka also joined. And then actually China, Pakistan, our neighbors, and Peru joined subsequently. So India was little late, but we were not too late if we compare to China, Pakistan, Peru. And for last 2000, since 2014, for in last 4, 5, 6 years, this system is well communicated to the institutions, and the NBA was very successful in communicating the change that NBA was going through. And I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the NBA and their authorities for having very successfully communicated this across the country. And it's a very big challenge because we are a very big country. So we are late, but not too late. Okay. This slide also tells that India signed this accord, and member institution is NBA. What are the names of the other bodies? Because we are curious. I was very curious to know what is the name of the body. I found that the ABET that we talk of is actually the Washington Accord signatory ABET for USA. Ireland has Engineers Ireland, Engineers Australia, Engineers Canada, Engineering Council, and United Kingdom. These are the bodies. And our neighbor Pakistan Engineering Council, these are the names. And our name is National Board of Accreditation. So these are the bodies. Now, primarily, what are the major change in the simplest words? What is the change that has happened after we signed the Washington Accord? It can be presented by this diagram. What has gone down? What is the importance of these things gone down? What is that gained the importance? What has lost the significance is, in earlier system was input output based. What do you provide? How much land you have? How much building? How big is the building? How many faculty that you have? And it was primarily only looking at the inputs and the number of outputs that you are producing, and maybe number of placements, only number. But outcome-based education system, which we adopted after we signed Washington Accord, which is recognized by the whole world, is outcome-based. And what is outcome? Outcome can be, in other words, tells that what is learned by the student is important. What is the skill that he has, rather than what is taught. So what is taught has lost the significance, and what is learned has gained the significance. Now, this is a website of NBA. Its address is nbaindia.org, and you can find the list of the accredited programs here. You have UG Tier 1, UG Tier 2. UG Tier 2 are the colleges affiliated. UG Tier 1 are the colleges which are having also the degree awarding authority, like NITs, autonomous institutions, and then PG programs, diploma programs. Under management, under pharmacy, under MCA, architecture, hospitality, tourism management, you say how to select, and you check the name of the college on this website. Now, this is the list that is referred not only in India, but world over. World watches this website, and on this website, you find the program on the college name, whether available or not, in order to confirm the accreditation status of this institution. And you have to select the state here, the program and institution name, or you get the list of the long list of the names and you can find it. This is the list, and I'm going to share with you one international, very big, good example of one of the government, which is referring to this website almost every day. I will come back to you a little later on that. So NAC is there, one quality accreditation deciding the quality. Then NBA we have seen, and there is always a debate on why should we go for NAC and why NBA, and whether we should go for NBA or NAC. And then there, in 2016 again came in the NRIF, National Institutional Ranking Framework, and whether we should now go for NRIF also. These are the questions people keep asking and keep debating, and why should we go in for? If you look at the international scenario, we have ABET as the international body accrediting not only colleges in universities in USA, but also they accredit the colleges and universities in in other countries. We in India, we did not have any framework of NRIF. You will all agree. Until very recently, until 2016, this was not available. So in 2016, we started calling applications and we started ranking the list. Until 2016, all the magazines used to rank the colleges. And in the month of March, April, May, you will find all the magazines flooded with the pages having the list of the colleges ranked by them. And when the private agencies like magazines like Outlook and other magazines rank the colleges, student and parents take the decision based on that. The question is, how authenticate is the information? How authenticate is the ranking? Because on the other page in the same issue of the magazine or the other issue of the magazine, you find very big advertisement of the same university. So very big advertisement, and you find this university name in the top 5 of the country. And therefore question was always raised about the authenticity of this ranking, and therefore government took the responsibility of ranking the institutions. And in 2016, 17, 18, 19, we came out with a list of ranked institutions, and subsequently we classified. Then for engineering, management, architecture, different lists are prepared, and these lists are very, very useful for the people to take the decisions. Why there is a need for accreditation, I would like to justify it by giving one example, very important example. Kuwait issue is a issue where about 14,000 Indian engineers are working, and they are working for almost 25 years, 20 years. Some have joined last year, but there are people who have established companies there, themselves, and as an employee, they, help them growing their economy in Kuwait. But recently, They said we will continue to have engineers from the across the world only if they are passed out of accredited engineer from the accredited colleges. And if they don't get the, if their college is not accredited, they will not get NOC. And if they don't get NOC, no visa, no extension of visa. No extension of visa means you pack your baggages and go back to your country. Such a strong message is given by Kuwait government. And then the government, the people came here to discuss with us. Honorable Secretary, Honorable Minister, meetings happened. We have shown them what kind of a education system we have. We explained to them whatever I have tried to try to cover today. We went in 2019 in their country, and they were also invited for this NRF ranking to show them third time as to how are our practices. These people had come again once again, but not much useful. And what they are looking at is just one thing, and that is NBA's website. NBA accreditation by NBA is something which is supreme in their minds, and therefore such is the importance of accreditation. See, bilateral discussion happened continuously for 1 day, 2 days, but one thing is that they want the students, engineers from accredited colleges. So this is one representative issue of Kuwait, and all over the globe this is happening. And therefore we made it mandatory now for the institutions to take accreditation. Now we can't only say that it is mandatory. We have to keep supporting, and we have started supporting under the we have through couple of schemes designed primarily by our chairman sir and his directions. We have launched 2 schemes. One is Margadarshan. So basically process of mentoring institution, and process of mentoring by us, and process of mentoring by our senior academicians. So what we do in Margadarshan, which is initiative of AICTE, to improve this number of accreditation institutions across the country, because it is so important. Number one is we made it mandatory, then we started mentoring. So what we did is we found good institutions in the country to help the neighbor, help the junior college, relatively junior college, newer college, by the senior, good, established, accredited college. We also have senior professors, good academicians. They can be very helpful. They must have retired now. So we involve them. So we involve good institutions and good teachers to help other institutions getting accreditation done. We have about 700 institutions taking mentorship. Question to you is your institutions accredited? If it is not accredited, is it taking mentorship from AICTE? If not, please start taking mentorship. You need to become accredited. So you please take the help of AICTE. There is maybe information on the website of AICTE, or you send mails to us and we will connect you to the right officer. What is this mentorship? Mentorship is this: one big institutions in the center will be mentoring, because this has knowledge and information and very senior and established the quality. There can be 10 institutions mentoring by them through a hub and spoke model, and there are many hub and spoke models available happening, guiding institutions all across the country. Question to you is, are you taking mentorship? Are you the part of this process? And if you are not the part of this process, are you going to continue to be running the institutions in this country for too long a time? Therefore, you question, you must ask yourself, you must ask your institution, you must ask your colleagues, and therefore it needs necessary that you need to go for accreditation of the institution. And then we help them getting MOUs signed between them. Around 450 MOUs were signed about 2 months before. I don't have the exact number now, but proper formal arrangement. This is a formal arrangement of what AICTE is doing, and AICTE is paying for it. Most importantly, AICTE is paying money to the people who are coming to your institution and guiding you. They are traveling at our cost. They are getting honorarium through AICTE. You need to only say yes. Whole process is going to be governed by a mobile app where you will find the mentor institution, mentee institutions, and progress. So this is how AICTE has become a facilitator from regulator, and I think AICTE is also working on many other things like then to facilitate, because you look at what we teach and universities are not able to change the curriculum for 10 years, 20 years in some cases. We have given a good curriculum in universities are mandated. Swayam courses, for every course almost there is one equivalent or two equivalent Swayam courses available. And we have now also started making these courses available from translated, at least the subtitles available on those video lectures, on the Swayam and NPTEL lectures, not only in English but also in Hindi and other languages. So 8 languages this will be available, and thermodynamics lecture will be available in Marathi. Subtitles in Marathi. Student will be able to learn the course better, because mother tongue has a great influence on learning of the candidate. We have given a lot of talks and presentations and trained many people on how to reform the examination process. Okay, it derives the principles of Bloom's taxonomy, and we should not ask question on define this, define that, or explain this, explain that. You ask the question and set the question and use the verb in such a way that the answer is exact and its actual potential and the skill is tested. Like you ask him to design a gear, okay, not explain the process of designing a gear. Exam pattern, all these things you can learn on your own, but focus has to be on creating. Today we need to be creators rather than understanding. We are somewhere here. Many of us are here understanding. Even if we ask you to tell what you taught and what is going to happen after it, you will say that, many of you will say, I'm not saying that everybody, many of us say that they will understand thermodynamics, they will understand this. No, they should apply, they should be able to analyze, evaluate, and they should be able to create, in fact. So creating, may it be a software, may it be a hardware, may it be a product, may it be electronic circuit, may it be a software program. You should be able to create, focus on creating. Creating is something very important. Okay. So I would like to, there are many other schemes which we started actually. This is the list of the schemes that we have. Like I told you, the India has unique, you say unique country, unique problem. And we have huge potential among students. Smart India Hackathon, which you are all aware of, which is there now, in AICTE for 4 years. 2017 I was part of, 2018 also I was part of. Is the process of connecting students with the problems of the country. And our chairman sir also talked on this many times and many forums, that you at your institution level should connect the students with the local problems of the country, involve the students. Students have immense potential, and even with my experience, I would like to tell you, we have designed a scheme where students are sent abroad for participating in competitions abroad, international competitions. All the teams that we sent abroad are participating and competing with international teams. All the teams won and they stood in top 10. That indicates how potential are the Indian students, and therefore we have to believe in the potential of our students. And if we believe, I think students will definitely take interest in education. They will take interest in the problems of the country. Let us involve them in solving our problems. No other country is going to help us in solving our problems, because no one has the problem and no one understands the problem. Our students are, and our institutions, our teachers are competent of solving the problems. With this, final note, I think I would like to close, and I should close by saying, wishing you good luck. Once again, I would like to tell you that we have immense potential immense potential. We have to only believe in our potential, believe in our systems, believe in our students, and motivate students in solving the current problems. I think in all the challenges, like even COVID, we will come out very safely, and someday we will become the world leader. China is, China's intentions are already being doubted. We should all take the advantage of this. With this, I would like to wish you a good luck for your accreditation, and I would like to, at the end, thank the organizer, the principal of the institution, Dr. A.T. Pise, coordinator Dr. Suhas Deshmukh and his team for giving this me opportunity, and I really really enjoyed talking. Although I'm not able to see you, but I could very easily connect with you. Uh, I would like to thank you for your patient listening. Thanks to all of you once again. Thank you. Over to Dr. Suhas. I think there are many challenges, many challenges that we are facing, and this is a transition. This is a transition phase. We are all learning. Even the government is learning. Yesterday our honorable Prime Minister talked to all the chief ministers, and a lot of discussions, debate happened. We are all learning through this. I think this continuous discussion debate will help us understanding the situation. We can only predict and try to understand or try to predict what is going to happen. Let us understand the situation first, and I think some solution will definitely come out. We will definitely have more engineering students coming, taking interest. If we have more students, I think cost effectiveness of education will be definitely taken care of. Also, this will be too early to say, but we are also setting up and looking into the fee structure of the institutions, and definitely we will have some solution in this regard. Next question.
Now I request Professor Joshi sir, convener of this program, to present on a vote of thanks.
Sir, thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Prasad. And I had forgotten to mention that this mentorship, that activity which I mentioned about, is in that process. Government Engineering College Karad is one of the mentor institution, mentoring 10 odd smaller institutions under which this program is happening. This program is happening under the under the scheme of Margadarshan itself. Right? So those who are attending, they are the beneficiary of this Margadarshan. So one of the objective is to also create and sensitize the accreditation process. This program is successfully doing that. And at the end, I would like to, of course, thank everyone again. But I would like to thank all those participants who have given such encouraging remarks on the session, the WebEx session window, for the comments that we have here. Thank you.